On this edition, we'll be covering NXT Heatwave. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to HCW Show Squared. My name is Dan, DP, or as everyone else says it, D to the pre-Z. Yeah, welcome to this Thursday edition of the show. If you're wondering why it's like that, it's because, well, as you know, this weekend is going to be all-in weekend, and I am fully booked. I've got shows on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, so I'm going to have no time to do anything or of anything, really. But yeah. So this is going to be an edition of the show where I just cover the NXT, which was a TV special anyway. So it's nice little, rounds it all out. It's fine. In regards to Rampage, I might do 2 next week. I don't know yet. Or just skip it and do NXT Rampage. Either way, let me know what you think. But if you're for the idea, give me a thumbs up. If you're not, give me a thumbs down. But no, before we get started, as always, follow us on our social medias, which is above my head here. That way. There we go. I'll get it right eventually. So on our Twitch, the HCW Show, our Twitter, HCW Show, Facebook, the HCW Show, our Instagram, which is just HCW Show, and our Threads, which is also just HCW Show, and my individual Twitter, which is beneath me here, there it is, which is Z, capital D, capital Y. But yes, let's get into this special edition, where there's a heat wave coming through town. I know, I hate that too, don't worry. So yeah, we kick things off with Ilya Dragunov taking on Trick Williams. Dragunov wins with a second rope diving forearm onto a downed Trick. I rated this match 3 stars. It was a very good opener, but in my opinion, it's clear as day that Trick is still green, inexperienced, needs training. He's got a lot to learn still. He has charisma, and that charisma will only get him so far. It'll get him places, but he needs to work on getting an in-ring ability, an in-ring acumen, so that way he's not exposed by facing lesser opponents. In this case, Ilya is great. He's heavily experienced. He's amazing as a wrestler, and I don't want to talk bad about Trick really, but Ilya did sort of carry this match. Yeah, I mean, Trick looked good because of Ilya. Let's put it that way. But yeah, Ilya wins. Moving on. We're backstage. Tyler Bate is meditating when he is found by Nathan Frazier. And Nathan basically asks him to be in his corner for the match against Noam Dar and Metaphor. In exchange, he promises Bate a title shot at the Heritage Title Cup thing once Noam has been dealt with. We remain backstage. Mammy's here with Dommy, Rio and Dominic. They flirt while Mustafa Ali interrupts them. He mentions that he wants Dominic to actually break a leg. So that way, when he's gone, NXT will have a North American champion they can be proud of. Rhea threatens him, and then Ali leaves. No, I'm not going to talk about the sex joke that was made because we are above that. Moving on. Ivy Nile takes on Ava Rain, or just Ava, is what I've been picking up on. They don't really call her by her surname anymore. But yeah, Ivy Nile, Ava. Ivy wins with Diamond Chainlock, which is the modified Dragon Sleeper. 1.5 star. I rated this. It was very short, not enough time to really get anything from it. I assume we're going to get more because of just the amount of story and the amount of interaction that there's been between these two, but nothing. So I don't really have much to comment on. Ava looked a little rough out there. I don't know if it's because it was a short match or because of Ivy or because of her. So I don't know the reasons, but it just looked like she was having a tough time there. She's not had many matches, so that could be why, and it kind of makes sense if that is the reason. Um, but yeah, I say it all the time. NXT is a developmental brand for developmental superstars. So if you're not in the optimum state for wrestling, then it makes more sense to be featured on this show where you can learn from others and from the crowds and from whoever, really. Anyway, Ivy continues to shine as well, despite being a secondary member of the NXT Women's roster. I don't mean that in a harsh way. I mean that in the sense that Ivy is quite literally booked as a secondary character to everyone else. Everyone else has their own thing going on, or everyone is doing something else, and then Ivy is sort of the third part of Diamond Mine. Not really, and then been fighting the Schism a lot, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure once it's all over, Ivy will get a better opportunity and might even face Tiffany at some point. Who knows for certain? Anyway, post match, Ivy is surrounded in the ring by multiple Schism members, and basically she fights them up until Ava's pulled away by some Schism. Yeah, Ava's pulled away by some Schism members. It's late, okay? Give me a break. Backstage, Wesley is on a phone call when Ilya enters the room. He's battered up by Trick's match. He declares that he's next in line for the title. Wes mentions that Ilya will have to go through him first. Ilya is skeptical about Wes's chances of winning, as am I. As was I should say. Moving on to the next match of the night, which was for the NXT Heritage Cup Championship Trophy thing. We have Noam Dar with Metaphor, Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, and Oro Mensah against Nathan Frazier, champion who's with Tyler Bate. Noam Dar wins the match 2-1. He's Heritage Cup champion again. I rated this match 4 stars. And for those of you wondering, damn, you said before that you love this kind of match. And yeah, you'd be right. I absolutely do love this kind of match. And that's probably a bit of the reason why I rate it so highly. I absolutely adore the British rounds, the Heritage Cup rounds, whatever it's called, the rounds format of these. But ignoring that part of it, the match was great. It had a bit of everything in it. I commented before that I really enjoyed Noam Dar and Tyler Bates match from a couple of weeks back, or last week, whenever it was. And I enjoyed this just as much, if not more. Round 1 was about setting boundaries and seeing if either man would crack. Round 2 was skipped due to an ad break. Literally, the entire second round was gone because of an ad break. Just don't air ads during these matches. There's matches that you could do an ad break during that's not cut up by anything and has dead parts in between. Like, you could just do it then. Like, there was no reason to do it here in a match that hasn't really got a dead zone. It just sort of, it goes, break, goes, break, goes, break. But the break's not long enough to have an ad break. So it takes away from everything about the Brawls matches, about the Heritage Cup matches. Anyway, round 2 actually featured the first fall. So that was missed. Thankfully, a replay shows what happened. Tyler Bate was attacked by Devakato, and that distraction allowed Dar to get the roll-up pin on Frazier to start the lead 1-0. Round 3 was mainly about Nathan getting back into the match and almost picking up the tie point right before the end. Round 4 was about Dar taking advantage of against Round 4 was about Dar taking advantage of an against the rules elbow. But Fraser comes back, hitting a top rope superplex and a final cut for the 3, making it 1-1. Round 5 was cut off by another ad break. Come on. Thankfully, not much happens in round 5 anyway. Fraser almost got another 3 count, but that's because Last Legend held him back while he was going for the pin. The 6th and final round was more back and forth between the two of them, which ultimately ended with Metaphor distracting Fraser enough so he misses a Phoenix Splash, and then that allowed Nerve to hit another roller, which is like a running insecurity, for him to get the winning 3 count, and amazing. I love the idea of Noam Dar being this smart ass, smarmy little prick as a champion. It's amazing. But we move on. Good match, great match. I'll say it now. My match of the night, honestly. But yeah, we head outside. Ava's here with 2 members of Schism. They're taunting Ivy, telling her to try and hurt Ava again because it didn't work the first time, and they just taunt her to basically find them. We go back to the ring with Tiffany Stratton, the champions here. She says it was a hot girl summer. She's already the perfect champion, and is better than any other champion in NXT history, including Bayley and Becky Lynch. Becky's never won the championship. More on that later. Gigi Dolan comes in. She cuts in and just says, "Hey, I want a title." In comes Kiana James. "Hey, I want a title." And she comes Blair Davenport. "Hey, I want a title." And then finally, Roxanne Perez comes out and is like, "Hey, I want a title." They all exchange insults, and then Roxanne throws a punch at Tiffany. Tiffany then leaves the ring, and there were 4 brawl. This was not a good look. This was not a good promo. This was not a good segment. This was nothing. This was horrible. I get what they were building to, and I get why they did it the way they did it, but this was not the way to do it whatsoever. But yeah, we should be getting a 4-way soon on NXT TV, so that's something to look forward to, I suppose. We get a vignette. We have Drew Gulak, Charlie Dempsey, and Damon Kemp in their training. Miles Bourne comes up to do some chores, like some young lion work. Miles is then choked out by Dempsey, and then Gulak berates him for not working harder. We go back outside, wherever this is. Ava is once again with these 2 Schism members taunting Ivy, who then appears. Ava tells the guys to get her. They don't. And then perhaps in the most obvious reveal this year, maybe not, the 2, rather large, bulky, clearly men, Schism members take off their masks. Hey, look at that, it's Julius and Brutus, the Creeds. Who would have guessed? They kidnap Ava, and then they put an ultimatum forward to Schism, saying they want to die in a steel cage match. Should be a fun match. But if they win, they're reinstated into NXT. That's all for now. Backstage, Metaphor are celebrating when Noam has served papers. He's being subpoenaed. No, he's not really. It's a letter of notice from the Heritage Cup Committee. They announced a number 1 contenders tournament for the Heritage Cup Championship, which will be in No Mercy in 5 weeks' time. Noam Dar realizes then that he's not got to defend the title for another 5 weeks. So they're off to California to celebrate. Cool. I find it quite amusing. It's just something to do with the way Noam Dar carries himself and the group as well being themselves. It's a good combo. So the next episode tonight is Judgment Day's Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio taking on Dragon Lee and Lyra Valkyria. Dragon Lee and Lyra Valkyria win after Dragon Lee hits a running Destino. I don't know what he calls it, but it's like a running Destino that Naito does on Dominic for the 3. I rated this 3.5 stars. There was a good use of F1 involved in it. Judgment Day continued to prove that they're the biggest things in WWE besides Roman Reigns. Dragon Lee getting the win here pretty much guarantees he's going to get the next title shot against Dominic. Where I'd say he has a better chance of winning the title than he did last time. Along with Lyra's performance with Rhea as well, there's a lot of potential for Lyra as well. I do have one very slight nitpick though about this match. Towards the end of the match, Rhea takes out Lyra, and then Rhea's then taken out by Raquel Rodriguez. There was a lot of commotion, and the ref didn't expect the thing. Didn't see anything, didn't hear anything. Just if you were the ref, where did Rhea go? You can see Lyra knocked out on the floor, so where did Rhea go? But no, nothing. No DQ, nothing like that. It was weird. I don't know. It's just a lack of common sense, I think, that I find annoying in referees. It's a minor issue, though. The match was good, so that's where I should leave it. Really, be on a positive note. We go backstage. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams have a mini reunion, and things seem to be okay between them, despite being separated now. There was a thing here, and I hope it was nothing, but I noticed it, and I was like, no, please no. Trick gives a brief look to the NXT title before handing it over to Carmelo. If the plan is to do Carmelo and Trick at some point for the NXT title, I'm going to lose my shit. I like Carmelo, I don't like Trick. Right, backstage again. We got an interview with Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany's phone has been blowing up because of her mishap with Becky. And then she mentions that the 4 women who interrupted her will be in a 4-way to determine the next challenger. Cue to Becky Lynch tweeting, saying, I have not won the NXT Championship yet. Anyway, get a vignette. Last week, so this is a vignette from last week. We're showing Thea Hale begging the ref to reverse or call off the match between her and Jay-Z, blaming it on Andre Chase, the loss. She then gets props from Jay-Z, who says basically that everyone at some point in their life has been let down by someone, and people like herself and Thea will be the ones who always get through that sort of thing. Moving on to the match everyone's looking forward to, Von Wagner and Baron Corbin. Let's do it. It was a no contest. There was a brawl before the bell even started, followed by Bron Breakker delivering a fucking brutal spear to Wagner. It looked amazing. I couldn't rate this match. It wasn't even a squash match. There was nothing to it. It was literally not a match, so I just couldn't rate it. Bron's spear looked good though, so that's what I can say really. You go backstage. Schism are here, and they're mad that the Creeds took Ava, and they agreed to the Creed stipulations, warning them that they shouldn't be worried about keeping the Schism out. They should be worried about the Dyad who are in there locked with them. We get a vignette. Dijak is ready to destroy Eddie Thorpe, and I'm ready to see it. Moving on to the main event of the night for the NXT Championship, we have Wesley taking on Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo wins with a nothing but net to retain the title. I rated this 3.25 stars. It was kind of weird. I expected a lot more from the match from both guys. It felt like both of them were holding back, and also the match was kind of rushed. It only got about 14 minutes, which is quite short, especially for a world title match on a TV special. It was all in build to one spot, which looked cool. It was like Carmelo did a springboard reverse DDT onto Wes on the announce table, which looked cool. But other than that, that was the only thing that I really truly remember. Another thing that I want to mention as well was the almost fluky defenses that we've been getting from Carmelo lately. The instant with Trick and Ilya at Great American Bash was, an accident, and that led to Ilya losing. followed by the one we had here, where Wesley did a suicide dive and hit his head directly into the barricade. Which then allowed Carmelo to hit his finish. I do have to sit here and wonder what this is leading to, because are they portraying Carmelo as a fluke champion or someone who can't win without luck on his side? I don't know. Anyway, that ended Heatwave, and that ended my review. But no, NXT Heatwave, it was decent. Now we have 5 weeks until No Mercy, which is the premium live event for NXT. Yeah, it wasn't a bad show whatsoever. The worst thing was probably Ava and Ivy, but that's not so much because it was a 2-minute match anyway. So realistically, the matches were fine and they were good. And Noam Dar and Metaphor continue to be the highlight, which is why you probably saw the thumbnail on the video already, where it's just Metaphor with the title. But yeah, they're my highlights for the show, and yeah, overall, I'd probably say the show was about a 7-ish. So like 3.25 star, something like that. Yeah, I'm alright with that. But yeah, this has been the review. This has been the end of NXT Heatwave and me talking about it. I've been Dan, DP, D to the Queen Z, and that's it. You can go. You are free to leave. You are free to go about your nights. Enjoy your Thursday. Oh, you're still here, are you? You you can go. I know this is not a normal day, but you can go. It's fine. Right. Okay. So you're just gonna stand there and not say anything? Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's odd. You're quite odd, aren't you?